Okay. And Zara, it is your turn. You watch as your friends are rushing towards this wide alleyway and attacking these flying individuals wearing black leather armor.
I'm gonna head right over there. Gonna use my full movement. Go right behind Sam Man. Hey, Sam, hi. That's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
It actually does 1d4. It has 3 charges, like 3 missiles shoot out.
Okay, so you can go
I
ahead
just
and
drop 2 more on him.
you can go ahead and drop 2 more on him.
Sorry, I had to read about this spell. I haven't used this forever.
It's okay. You haven't been a wizard yet. You
Yeah.
were just you were a rogue. Now you're a wizard.
Hey, look at this! 444. It's my lucky day.
You're a wizard, Nick.
You're a wizard, Nick.
Hey, copyright.
Oh.
All right. So the thug flies towards you and snaps his finger, Siegfried, and you watch as the chunk of crystal seems to evaporate from underneath him as he lands on the ground next to you. And he pulls out his mace and attempts to whack you in the head with it. Pulls his hand back. It's like a heavy-looking mace, cudgel-like device, and that's a natural 20. And he will pull his arm back once again and attempt to whack you again in the face. Try to bash in your nose. And again strikes you. A little less painfully this time, but bashes you in your cheekbone. And Byron, it's your turn.
Do they have sight of me yet or not?
No one has noticed you yet. Within the shadows, you are completely covered. They seem to be focusing on your friends. And that is a critical hit. Your arrow fucks into the leather armor of this thug, and he kind of wobbles in the air a little bit.
And as bonus action, I'll strike again.
Okay. And that is also a hit. And you watch as the thug goes limp, falling off of his chunk of crystal that he was on, and the crystal lands on the ground and shatters and explodes.
Okay. I'll move 10 and I'll pass.
And Brunhild, it's your turn. You just watch one of these guys jump off of his crystal sled and bash Siegfried in the face twice.
Alright. I'm gonna move next to that guy over there.
If you move down one more, you'll be adjacent and you'll get advantage on your attacks.
Well, then it sounds like I'm gonna move a little bit.
Actually, it was right here. So the way that works for the advantage is that it's you corner to corner. That's how it works. Right where you are right now.
Got it.
Siegfried continues to strum his bass as Samael is drumming on a trash can.
Siegfried spits a mouth of blood onto him and just past the base. Not with eye contact.
Spare her just 1 second. I'm teaching her how to untarget the other guy she's targeting.
Sure thing. Well, you gotta hit
Whoops.
first. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
hit first. I would say that's a hit, so we'll take the damage you rolled on him.
Okay.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Brunhild?
Yep.
All right. The other thug reloading his crossbow and is now leveling it at Samael. And the very, very gentle, feels like a gentle breeze brushes past you, Samael, as the bolt goes wide and goes past your ear.
Very well.
And Siegfried, it's your turn.
If I move anywhere, he gets an attack of opportunity, doesn't he?
Correct. He is currently focused on you, so he will attempt to hit you.
Yeah, the dwarf behind him that just hit him in the head doesn't count. Let's see. I'm pretty upset he's going to try to whip one as he can.
That unfortunately is a miss.
Yeah, it appears whenever I try to use that, I lag out and roll really shitty. So maybe I just shouldn't use mythical weapon.
You do have advantage on your attack.
Oh yeah, that's true. It goes again. Oh my god, everything's so slow.
So yeah, if you want to attempt to do your attack again, you can. That's a hit. So Siegfried, this sinewy, very somewhat similar to Samael's ropey creature unfurls off of your arm, and you slash out. The guy's eyes kind of go wide as all of a sudden a whip appeared out of nowhere off of your arm and slashed him across his face. And Zito, it's your turn.
Alright. Zito's gonna look down to where the Thug 3 and Thug 5 are still on their crystals, right?
Yes, the others are still on their crystals.
Zito's gonna cast Shatter on the space between the two of them.
Okay. And it looks like,
I didn't mean to do that twice.
yeah, it looks like they saved.
Alright, so I'll take half damage.
Okay.
and all the organic material that isn't being worn or carried in that area would also take the damage.
Okay, well the crystals are not organic, so they don't take any damage.
Well, they aren't organic.
They are not organic. In fact, when
So they
your
would take
when
the
your
damage.
when your spell went off, arcs of lightning sort of burst out and sparked around them. And the thug is going to fly over towards you, Vito. Snaps his fingers, landing next to you, and attempts to bash you with his mace. Did you put your armor on you? Because it doesn't look like it's taking it off.
It would have.
Yeah, it's not
I
on you.
did put it on.
You didn't put it on you. So that would not have been a hit.
That would have been a hit. The 16 would have not changed it.
No, I know, but you're wearing mage armor, correct?
That would bring my AC to 16. That still would have hit.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you get a mace to the face as the energy field that erupts over your form, this mace, he brings it in wide and smashes into your diminutive form. And then with a wicked grin on his face, he pulls his arm back and attempts to hit you once again. But his second hit, unfortunately, goes wide. You just manage to duck your head out of the way, and he hits the cart, which is next to you.
Alright, I think I fixed it.
The next thug is going to fly behind Brunhild, landing on the ground. And because he has pack tactics, he will get advantage on his roll. And he hits. I apologize for the sound of someone hacking their lungs out in the background. So Brunhild, from behind, you just feel someone rocking you in the back of the head now with a mace. Now, Dissonant Whispers, does he save out of that, Siegfried?
No, I believe it's just for that turn. He goes. He should be able to come back.
Okay. Well, in that case, he will fly back towards the battlefield, towards the fray, his full movement. And that'll be his turn. And Samael, it is your turn.
I'm gonna move here. As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark and apply it against Black Leather Clad Thug number 6.
Okay.
You're about to get rocked. Siegfried on his base loot and Samael on. Oh.
I think we should make it canon that Samael is proficient with orc drums.
I've been thinking that since day one.
I am also proficient with Orcish War Drum.
Let's just make a band.
What's crazy to me is that apparently the combat tracker rolled ones twice for you. You rolled one, and then it rolled a one, because you were dead last in the tracker again. That's a hit.
I have
And
to come out with Keeper's Fang.
is that the Keeper's Fang?
That is the Keeper's Fang. With
There is
smite attached to it.
a brilliant flash of necrotic energy, and this guy screams in pain, and his scream is silenced. And within 30 feet around you, all sound ceases for a brief moment as he falls dead to the ground in front of you.
All right, and I'm going to look over at Black Leather-clad Thug number 5, and hit my.
All right, and Byron, it is your turn. You hear this horrific sound of someone screaming in pain, and then the sound was dampened for a moment as to nothing.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to transfer the Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Attack.
That is a hit. Yeah, they're wearing some crappy leather. And
Tend there.
Siegfried, it is your turn.
Siegfried's gonna move up here and say, pardon me, sir, I'm sorry. He's gonna drop his, hand crossbow and now fully pull out his loot. Get the rolling in there.
Are you activating your lightning loot?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, that is a 5-foot line, so you would not be able to hit both of those guys.
I'm trying, just get it, just work with me and not open a rating.
And I believe that's a dexterity save, correct?
Yes, I believe I have something else that needs a dex save, so I can just run that on him.
I was gonna say I can make a dex save. Nope, he failed. And Kazara, you watch as Siegfried strides up next to you, pulls back his arm, and then aiming his loot towards the thug flying through the air, you see an arc of lightning just sort of spiral out and zap this guy in the chest. And let me make a save for him. For a check, actually. And he just manages to keep his feet. His legs are wobbly from the attack, but he just manages to keep his feet on this chunk of crystal that he's flying on.
And then I will use my bonus action to cast Bardic Inspiration on Brunhild.
Okay, you're giving Brunhild a Bardic Inspiration. Is that a D6?
It is a d6.
Okay, Brunhild, you'll have a Bardic Inspiration that you can spend. I believe that's on attacks and ability checks. And Zito, it's your turn.
As Siegfried zaps the thug with the lightning, Zito is gonna grab of the thug. He's going to take some lightning. He's going to redirect it back to the thug again. He's going to cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. Your diminutive hands swirling together, and you place your hands out, and lightning emits and blasts, and apparently hits yourself as well. Apparently you had yourself targeted as well there, Zito. So you can take that 3 damage off of yourself. I don't think you intended to hurt yourself.
And I tried to cast Mage Armor back on myself.
By the way, Jeremy, if this is 100 feet long and feet wide,
What's that?
the lightning bolt says 100 feet long and 5 feet wide.
Sorry, I thought you were targeting a different person.
You know, it would have hit that 55-foot back guy too.
And Zito will end his move by retreating back behind and making Zara. And since I hit thug number 5 with Shocking Grasp, he can't take reactions until the end of his next turn.
Okay. Well, you might not need to anyway, because Siegfried, I'll go ahead and say that you can roll a dexterity save on him and see if your lightning hit him.
Well, yeah, it would be on Thug, not Thug 5. Thug 5 would have been in the 5 feet, and so it's just that other guy back there.
Okay. Well, in that case, Thug number 3 is going to fly over and land next to Samael, dropping his crossbow.
Well, he's about to take the damage from, because he's supposed to also get hit by the 100-foot long lightning blast.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. They
And he
don't look
failed it.
themselves.
Yeah, and he failed it.
Go ahead and roll the damage on him. We'll see if he dies as he's flying towards Samael. Oh, he's still kicking.
He took the same exact damage too.
That's a critical hit.
I'm immune to criticals.
That's right, you are immune to criticals. So it becomes a normal hit.
Samael is a critical.
So yeah, if you want to take some of that damage off of you, you can have that. We'll say, round down, we'll say 6 damage off of you.
Alright.
And then he'll attempt to hit you again. Have you already taken the damage off of you?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Oh, he rolled another critical.
Fortunately, I'm immune.
Shocking. He got electrocuted.
Okay. So that was 3 damage on you. Instead of his critical, he only inflicted 3 more damage on you. He tried. That pretty armor it just negated that hit. Brunel, the other thug, is continuing to hammer you with his mace, whacking you in the
Lovely.
side of your ribcage with his first attack, rearing back and attempting to bash you again.
Did you ever put your armor back on after the other night?
Well, it's been 7 days.
Yeah, I did before I went to sleep because I really wanted to get the dress off.
And did you equip it back in the menu? Because 14 seems pretty low.
I was gonna say, have you actually gone on your character sheet and added your armor back onto yourself?
I am not sure.
Because your AC is 12. No, you didn't. There we go. Well, now your AC is 18. So we'll say that Neither one of those struck you. So I'm going to take 11 damage off of you.
I
Awesome.
think all the last did though.
Yeah.
No, I think the one last one was also.
So yeah, for all of you who were at the dinner party, I would check your characters to make sure that all your stuff is equipped. Because I'm not going to remember to do that for you.
I think we should say it was in her backpack and she dies.
And Zara,
I
it's
did
your
not
turn.
go pit fighting in a dress.
Are you sure? Because that sounds like it would have been awesome.
I'm sure it would have.
Alright.
All right, you're not Rufus.
I'm going to move, right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my reach, my halberd, and a
Zara, have you shared with the group your halberd? What's going on with it yet?
I have not.
Okay.
We'll
My-
show
Might be something important you might want to share with them.
Yes. Alright, I'm gonna hit it with my halberd. Natural 20. Once it comes,
Very nice.
did it go through?
Yeah, that is a natural 20.
Haha.
And you lop his head off.
And I'm going to use my War Priest ability and attack again. Black clad leather thug number 4.
So Samael, you just watch as Zara comes striding from behind you and lops this first guy's head off. And then immediately spins and strikes the other guy.
Nice.
But it's not quite as impressive.
And for my bonus action, I'm going to say I am the sword in the darkness. The one that brings the dawn, and I'm going to cast spiritual weapon on Mr. number 5.
Okay. So, why don't you describe your spiritual weapon to the group?
Alright, it is a flaming sword, clad in orange and blue and yellow, the colors of Dol Ahara, and it's standing right over his head.
There we go. And that's a hit.
Nice.
And this spectral weapon stabs into the man in a look of shock. He was grinning and sarcastically towards Brunhild as he's been bashing her repeatedly with his weapon, and you just take him out with one hit.
I just look at Samael and Brunhild and I go, yes! And that's the end of it.
Brunhild, it's your turn.
Awesome.
I think I just killed the wrong guy.
You sure did.
Oh no, I did number 5.
Oh, you did number 5. Okay, well in that
Yes.
case, wherever number 5 was, your spiritual weapon went over.
It was over there.
Okay.
Well, that's good. That means I can still hit the one beside me.
Also,
Exactly.
transferring my hunter's mark over to Thug 4.
Okay.
You know, I was trying to let her get her kill. Didn't want
Understandable.
to steal her glory.
Yeah, 'cause I wasn't about to try to run up to something or try to throw something. How does that inspired work?
When you roll, you can add a 1d6 to it, or if you have a check, you roll 1d6 to add on.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to spend it now because he did hit.
Then I'm gonna keep it.
Well, I mean, you'll lose it after battle anyway.
And Brunhild, with your weapon, your maul in your hand, you catch the guy in his jaw, and the whole left side of his face just explodes, and he falls dead before you. And was that the end of your turn? Oh, okay. Nicholas, it is your turn.
I'm going to look downrange and use 2 charges on my wand of magic.
Okay.
And I'm going to move behind this cart.
He's dead.
Oh.
So, aiming your wand, your arcane bolts spiral out and catch him. And the device that he's standing on, and they both explode. And you, my friends, are out of combat.
Of course they couldn't do it to us.
So who are they?
I want to go search one of the bodies nearest me.
I think they're rat people.
Intrigue.
Nonetheless, they're dead ones.
Dead rat people are the best rat people. Let's eat their body. Wait, no, that's wrong. Sorry, got ahead of myself, everybody.
We
Alright,
can
check
keep
on
them
Mr.
as
Art.
pets. You don't have to take care of them.
Yeah, but then they rot and they sting.
Then we can collect bugs.
Zara goes up to one of the things and tries to investigate its vitals and kind of see what creature it is.
All of the individuals that you see that were on the crystal devices, the source leads, appear to be human. Byron, as you approach the body of your Warforged driver, you notice that this creature, that was very feral and vermin-like, his features have seemed to have shifted. The hair has begun to fall off of his skin, revealing yet again that he appears to be of a halfling descent.
I'll put another arrow through his head.
Okay.
And
So
then
as you walk up, you just watch Byron sort of casually plugs the dead body with another arrow.
I'm gonna clap him on the shoulder and look at him and say, "You know what happened?"
I saw him over the body of R, and he fled the scene of the blast, from my understanding.
Siegfried's gonna limp over, spitting up a bit of blood as it goes in his mouth to walk over to see what's going on.
Oh, Siegfried, are you alright?
Bloody, but, Mr. R! Is he okay, guys?
But don't feel bad, Baron. He was either the murderer or he was rooting through his pockets looking to steal something. Either way, he's better off dead.
That's fine. Is Mr. R functional?
He appears to be groaning, and you can see it looks like the side of his carapace on his head seems to be a little cracked, and where usually it's shiny and polished, it's a bit dinged. He has a big old dent in the side of his head.
I can heal him with my lay on hands ability, right?
Sure. He is a living.
Okay.
Even though he's a construct, he's still considered a living creature.
That's right. We deemed that health spells and healing potions and everything affect Warforged in our campaign, correct?
Correct. And Nicholas, after turning over these bodies of these other humans, who appear to be humans, you don't really find anything of interest. You don't find any identifiable features or anything on their persons except for the armor and the weapons that they were wearing. You do, however, find a few of the source sleds appear to be intact.
Ooh. I wanna take
Yes,
them.
Queen.
I'll take them and I'm gonna put them in my backpack of holding to divide to the party later.
Okay, I will put those into the party's loot here in a moment.
All right.
And Zara's gonna go up to Nick and kind of whisper in his ear, you know, I know as much as you'd probably like to keep that necklace, you probably need to turn it over to evidence. I mean, it's important. I know you're a junior inquisitor, but this is not a case.
And
Nick?
Samael, as you lay on hands onto Mr. R, you see the irises within his construct head sort of rotate and flip a few times, almost as if to simulate he's blinking his eyes, and he goes, "Oh, my head! Oh, Mr. Samael, Samael," and he sort of stutters a little bit. He turns and he looks at you, Siegfried. He looks at you, Byron. It looks at the rest of you, and he starts to sit up. "Oh, that was horrible. Terrible."
I'll step over him and ignore him. Check the body of the F creature.
Okay. You find a pentagonal piece of paper, which is currently soaked with his blood. Like, not completely soaked through, but like edges of it here and there.
Would Prestidigitatus work to clean it off?
Sure.
I'll hand it up to Siegfried.
I use Prestidigitatus on the paper to clean off the blood.
Okay. I will throw it into the party's inventory, along with the source sleds that you found.
By the way, Byron, I completely forgot. I have a message on my Gizmo Bob that we all need to listen to later.
Don't forget, you got. I gave you that herb, and we'll give you 2d6 healing.
Anyone else need healing?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
And upon looking at the note, it appears to be the text that's on the note appears to be written in Undercommon. And if any of you in the party can understand it, and you share the note with the rest of them, then you guys can read the note.
Can anyone read Undercommon?
I'm afraid I cannot.
Me either.
Um,
And maybe I have a spell. Let me see what I have here, my friends.
I believe one of you does, I just can't remember who.
type it in Undercommon.
I'm only bilingual, so
I have comprehend language. For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see, but must be touching the surface of which the words are inscribed on.
Okay, well, you can use that spell if you like.
If no one else has anything, I will.
Otherwise, I'm going to share it, and we'll see if one of you understands.
Share it, and if no one understands it, I'll just go ahead and use those.
Mm,
No, I don't understand it.
no one.
They're scribble.
No one understands it.
No.
Nope.
Okay. So, do you want to use comprehend languages there, Siegfried?
Yes, I
Siegfried?
will. I'll put my hand on the paper.
How long does that usually take you?
A minute per page.
Okay, well, there's only one sheet, so within a minute, you're all hearing now the sounds of like yelling coming from in the distance in various points, to the northeast, back to the west, and you can hear the sounds of clanking and stomping of like someone in armor potentially coming this way.
Remove the shadow.
And after about a minute, you are able to read, and I will put this in the chat once again so that everyone can understand it. I assume that you read it for everyone there, Siegfried?
Yes.
All right. The scrap of paper, which was once covered in blood, bears several lines of text. It says, "Beware the one with the bow. He lurks in shadows. Careful of the cleric. She follows Dol awry and is deadly with a halberd. Avoid the paladin. His armor is thick. The others are dangerous but shouldn't be too difficult to subdue. Hinder them from following the House Fjarlan agent. Kill only if necessary. Nihilor has plans for them all. Do not allow them to reach Growlhund Manor."
Well, it looks like we're going to Growlhund Manor, everybody.
And
Time
as
to go
you're
kick in the front door.
As you-
Sounds awesome.
as you're figuring this out, Mr. R is now looking to all of you, and he's looking around desperately, looking around the alleyway, and he is shouting now, "Ginger! Sassafras! Where are you girls?" He turns and he looks back at all of you, and he says, "It was terrible. Just horrible."
What happened to you?
Well, I was brushing down Ginger and Sassafras, and then I heard this horrible explosion. Then a few moments later, an elven man came running towards me, demanding a ride on the sky carriage.
I assume you didn't give him a ride.
No.
You know where he went?
Well, he attacked me, and then last thing I saw after he bashed me in the head and I fell unconscious, I saw the sky carriage leaping into the air over cliffside, over Trollskull Alley, off towards the city.
Well, maybe this isn't the place for us to discuss it. Maybe we should go back to the inn.
I have to find them, my Pegasi. I'm so very sorry. I should have been more careful. I should have protected them. I should have protected the carriage, and now I'm afraid it's gone.
I will find it.
And he's sort of as nervous as a stony visage of a warforged can be. You get the impression from the constant clicks and whirs from his eyes that he is very distraught. And he's wringing his hands and rubbing the side of his head where that dent is, which sort of mended itself a little bit from Samael's healing. And as you all begin to gather yourselves, the familiar sight of an inquisitor, Barnabas, comes running down the hall, or running down the alleyway towards all of you. And he says, "My friends, I didn't expect to see all of you here. And Nicholas, what seems to be... What is all this about?"
Where else would we be?
Well,
I was...
looks like somebody was trying to, hurt us, I guess. Still trying to figure it out.
I was summoned for some sort of explosion. What do
Yes,
you?
there was
What do you know
there
about
was a
that?
fireball. Sorry to interrupt part of this. There was a fireball right in the alley next to Trollskull Manor, which is where we live, and then we found, well, these things. They had attacked our driver, Mr. R, right here. We fought them off, and we have reasons to believe it. They may have been, I don't know, potentially after us. I don't know. We don't. That's all the information we have.
And he looks around the alley and he says, "So this lot attacked you? They don't seem to be directly involved with this fireball, you say. I've only now started to talk. The constable is arranging for the bodies to be transferred to a local watch station. They're going to cast gentle repose on them so they can attempt to preserve them before they can be examined. But you say that these ones here, that they attacked you. And
Yes, you see, one of these people were seen fleeing the crime after the bolt went down. And so we followed where they were heading towards from what a few people around the scene said.
you said,
And that's when we saw him over Mr. R, our driver down there.
you said one of these people.
Yes, he was
Can
seeing
you
limping.
describe him for me?
From what I heard, they're in a black cloak and was running off with a limp. That's about all the description we got, other than they're heading towards the rusty nail or something. So we started heading that direction, and he was
You were
there.
also told that he was burnt, that it was a man and he was burnt on the side of his body.
He was burnt on the side of his body, but on the way there, we saw this guy over our friend Mr. R, and we couldn't just let our Warforged friend R just have this guy leaning over him.
And Barnabas walks up to you, puts a hand on your shoulder, Siegfried, says, "It's all right. It'll be all right now. We'll get this all sorted out. But you all look like you've been through hell. It's a terrible way to start your day, especially with all the fatalities. Well, I'm going to continue to investigate the scene. I will leave you to your business. It seems like you have quite a lot to deal with yourselves. Nicholas, if I could have a word with you."
Yes, no problem.
And he steps aside several yards away from the rest of the group. Pulls you aside, Nicholas, and says, "What is the business I hear about you being demoted?"
Well, let's see. We are investigating a mysterious book, and upon investigating, opening it up, it looks like we were transported to the realm of madness, and what felt only a couple of hours was 25 days here. And, well, I failed a couple cases because I was gone, and they demoted me.
That is unfortunate.
Yes, unfortunate, but hey, we do our jobs, and sometimes people don't see it that way.
At least you're still within the King's Citadel. At least you're an Inquisitor still. But a junior Inquisitor, that's an insult to you.
Yes, it is, but, sometimes we just gotta press forward.
Well, I understand. The Watch are currently talking to the witnesses and going door to door, knocking on. I will talk to them and allow you to leave the alley so that they don't hinder you.
Alright, we think we got a lead, so we're going to check out that lead. I'll keep
Is-
you posted, alright?
I appreciate that. Is there anything that I can do for you before I go?
Do you have any information? Did you find out anything that we don't know? Or did you just arrive?
Well, I've only just arrived. Cursory glance. Appears that a few of the bodies were just innocent bystanders. I have a feeling that the individuals that were closely more grouped towards the center of where the blast was that may have some connection.
Have you heard of Grelhund Manor?
Grelhunds, what of it?
Do you know what is? Who are they? What is it? Where is it?
I will say that it is one of the 60 families. I believe they're, well, last I checked, they're not one of the families that utilize the floating manors. As many of the 60 families, their apartments float above the wards that they're located in. This one, I believe, is set in the towers within the grounds of Upper North Edge. That is all the way over on the northeast side of Sean. But that, I will tell you that it looks like, based on the cursory examination, all through this, I would bet dollars to donuts that gnome was running from the individuals that were grouped, just based on the way they were angled and.
Hey,
And
Nick.
it appears as though they were moving towards the tavern.
They're coming towards the tavern.
It also seems as though they didn't see this blast coming. That this was completely surprising to them.
Hey, Nick.
Ah, am I on?
Look, man, if they're headed back right now to warn of their failure, we need to hurry up and beat them there.
I agree.
I think Mark can get us there through the city a lot faster than we could normally. He may be able to get there faster than they can.
Agreed. Barnabas, excuse us. If you don't mind, we're going to follow our lead.
By all means.
Alright, you guys go ahead. Barnabas, may I talk for you for a moment? I'll catch up. I'll run. I'm fast.
Okay. Barnabas, he looks at Yuzar expectantly.
Grab those floating discs, guys. Let's go.
Maybe leave one for me. Or are you going to use? Oh, anyways, go on.
You only have 2.
Barnabas.
Okay.
Let's send Byron and Nick ahead.
Barnabas, I so appreciate all you've done for Nick and the guidance, and he really looks up to you, Inquisitor and all. I have a favor to ask.
Of course. Go right ahead.
Maybe time being short, I'd like to talk to you. There's something that's come to my attention that seems fishy.
Fishy.
Yes.
By all means, please elaborate.
Well, you said you noticed that he became a junior inquisitor. Do you know how you came about that information?
Well, that's common knowledge around the office that when he went missing, all of his cases were reassigned, and he was marked missing. In fact, he was almost marked for dead until he mysteriously reappeared in the city. And then I was instructed that all of his case files were to be reassigned, of course, over the course of the month that he was missing, and that any further case files would need to be sent up to the High Inquisitor for vetting, if you will.
I see. The High Inquisitor, does she work with other houses or things in the area?
Well, I wouldn't presume to know all of the trappings that High Inquisitor Ventress does. Her connections, of course, to many of the families, the high courts, the Council of Sean, of course, treats with the King's Citadel, and of course King Boronal of Brayland, of course. She has a direct line to the king. The King's Citadel, of course, in addition to directing the guard within the city, is an extension of the throne itself. It is the justice, the scales of justice, if you will.
I see. That makes sense. Such a high position as she has. If you know,
Zara, looking around, you're realizing that you are very alone at the moment. All of your friends have left the alley. And Barnabas is now glancing back towards the scene of the blast around the corner, which many of the guards now, you can see guards, and several of the watch now are milling past you, and they're walking up to the various businesses and houses, and they're knocking on the doors. Is there anything else, Miss Zara?
is there a way I can reach High Inquisitor Ventress? I know she's very busy, but if I ever had a question or something.
Well, I suppose you can make an inquiry and make an appointment. I can send word to the office for you that you wish to speak to the High Inquisitor. She's usually very busy, and sometimes she's not within the Citadel. She is typically out and about.
Well, maybe I'll take you up on that request sometime. Not now, but thank you, Barnabas. I appreciate it. And she lays a hand on his shoulder and guidance.
Okay.
This should help you in your search.
There's a rush of warmth from your hand into Barnabas's shoulder, and you see him, he just sort of like rolls his shoulders back and sighs a little bit, and he says, "Oh, that was lovely. Thank you so very much. And good luck.
Thank you,
Good luck to you in your travels, whatever you are all doing at the moment."
Thank you. See you later. And she's gonna sprint and try to find her using her ring. Hey guys, where you at?
Okay. So, with your Impetu Pignus Ring of Sending, you can send a message to any member of your party. So who would you like to contact?
I'm gonna contact Byron.
Okay.
Yeah, Zara.
Hey Byron, I'm on my way. Any directions to follow?
Well, we're about probably about 6-7 blocks away now. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of back alleys. I don't think you're gonna catch. You might want to take a sky coach.
Okay. Well, I'll meet you a couple blocks away from the place.
We may get there before the coach does.
All
All right.
My question to all of you is, how are you getting to this other side of the city? Are you hoofing it? Are you taking a sky coach? Are you all going together besides Zara?
Was it reachable by foot or not?
It's totally reachable by foot. Let me just figure out your travel time for you. Let's see.
I do believe in my chosen train half the time.
Well, I mean, that doesn't increase your speed in which you can move. It doesn't increase your movement. How's that worded exactly?
Hold on, I'm looking.
Let's see. Because
That one for more than an hour. Never mind.
So on foot, it would take, let's see, 110 minutes to travel on foot to get to that part of the city.
We're better off.
What's that there? Are you using Zara's microphone?
No, we're better off taking a sky coach.
Okay.
Yep. We'll take a sky coach.
What did you do with Mr. R? Are you taking him with you? Or did you guys send him back to the manor?
Send him back to the manor. He's empty.
Okay. Well, in that case, Mr. R